Today on the Nerd Confessions podcast, we're going to be talking about Super Mario Odyssey on the Nintendo Switch and Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed Origins. It's been 2 years. Finally have one.
I'm a woman! I can't believe you made me do that, William.
I'm saying right now, if Ellie was an actor in Hollywood, her ass would get fired.
Do the Mario! Swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go. Do the Mario. Take one step and then again. Let's do the Mario all together now. You got it. It's the Mario.
Hey, paisanos, it's the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Bite your tongue, Luigi.
Okay, you ready, Mario? It'll either drive that ghost from Luigi's body or turn him into a drooling, moronic zombie forever.
It's a very good composition.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Nerd Confessions, our safe haven where we discuss our thoughts, opinions, and everything nerdy, geeky, techie, whatever. It's been a week since our last confession, but before we jump right into it, we'd like to remind our listeners you can find or follow our podcast on various social media platforms, find previous episodes, and view bonus content on our website, nerdconfessions.net. I'm Sohila, the moderator for this episode, and I'm joined by William. Hi. Ellie.
Hey.
And the infamous Jeannie Tommy.
Hello.
In this episode, we'll be talking about 5 most recent nerd news topics important to us, Nintendo's Super Mario Odyssey and Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed Origins. Stick around until the end of the episode and hear some of our listener confessions. If you have a confession to send to us, you can email us at contact@nerdconfessions.net or send us a tweet. For those watching on YouTube, we will have a timestamp in the description if you want to skip ahead right to the topic discussion, or if you're listening on your podcast app, you can skip ahead to the next chapter and any time. Show notes on this episode are available on nerdconfessions.net. For starters,
.net.
let's talk about what each of us have done this week. William, what have you done?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Pretty much a repeat of last week. A lot of Assassin's Creed Origins. Still haven't beat it, but I'm close. A lot of grinding that you have to do in that game. While playing it, I watched a lot of
grinding?
Documentaries.
Egyptian
grinding as in leveling, getting gear.
Like 50-50?
I noticed that, but we'll talk about it later.
Killing animals.
We'll talk about it later.
skinning
We'll
them.
talk-
Okay,
we'll talk about it
we'll
later.
talk about it later.
Jesus Christ, man.
What? What's your problem, Tommy?
Why you gotta talk about the topic now?
Okay. We
all
we
he-
unboxed the Xbox
Egyptian.
One X. Ellie did, and I've been playing with it a little bit. And I played Halo 5, and it's really nice because it's like 900p most of the time when you play it on the regular Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
And right now when you play it, I'm playing 1080p because I don't have a 4K TV, but it's super sampled, like at least 1440p. So it looks very, very incredibly crisp. It looks really good. Like it's like night and day difference. It's like you're not wearing glasses and then you put glasses on.
Okay.
Oh,
Because they made a lot of sacrifices in Halo 5 to make it run 60 frames per second. If they were trying to make it look 1080p, it would be 30 frames.
So, like-
it was a huge difference.
So if you're watching this like on a big screen, do you feel like you're getting shot at? For real?
What?
I don't know what you mean. That's
All right.
a little weird to ask.
I'm sorry.
Does that help with the story? Go.
It helps you overlook the story more.
Okay, that's fine.
You still have the weird frame rate for your enemies, though. Like if your enemies get a weird, like so much of a distance from you, they still like run at a really weird, like low frame rate.
Yeah, because it's like draw distance change.
Yeah, it's one of the sacrifices they made, and I'm sure Xbox One X can handle it. But the fact that it's been out for almost was it a year and a half now?
Yeah.
They don't want to go back and retouch that's a main mechanic of the game that they're go and reconfigure. I'm sure that they don't want to do that. They just want to say, okay, we'll super sample. That's it. Good to go.
Mm-hmm.
So
Easier fix than fixing the mechanic because
Yeah.
it's a lot of work.
yeah.
All right. So, Ellie, what'd you do except buy hats?
Oh yeah, I bought like 2 hats. This is the one
Two?
the one I'm currently wearing, and then this Mario one, the very good quality. Target, get it at your local Target.
I got her the Odyssey hat, the Cappy hat, to make up for us getting the shaft when we were at the Odyssey event. Remember we didn't get any hats or anything? So here, like Nintendo again, please.
You
Don't hate
were
them.
that upset about it?
I thought you were gonna make this whole like fake thing and be like, Nintendo reached out to us and gave us these hats.
That was part of my plan to make you like Nintendo, but
It didn't work.
Whatever. And then I also got these cool Amiibos brought to you by William. William was nice enough to reserve these for me when they were out.
Well, close that.
Oh.
So I got each of the champions from Breath of the Wild. One of my favorite games.
Ooh, they're not as big as I was hoping because they're like $1 or $2 more than regular Amiibos, which doesn't make any sense. I was
They're
hoping
just
they'd be a
very
little bit
detailed.
bigger or something.
Very detailed.
They look cool.
They are pretty detailed.
Yeah, the big guy I
they
don't
look
like so
cool.
much. But
Where's your accent from, by the way?
it's just an alien accent. Sometimes I go off and
Okay, just have
a
one weird.
veces no puedo comprender lo que digo bien, entonces estoy cambiando.
Hey,
I change it so until it sounds normal.
Are you the alien?
What?
That wasn't an accent. That was a different language.
It was an accent in
What kind
a
of
different
alien are you?
language.
Like Alien Gonzalez alien or what?
You like a diplomat alien? Like
All right.
I speak multiple languages.
What else did you?
Let's see. I got this. Like I started making art on this computer.
Surface Pro 1.
Yeah.
She went back in the closet and found a Surface Pro 1.
Yeah, I found it. So it's like, why not use it? So here I am. And then what else did I do? I watched this really horrible movie called Murder on the
Orient Express.
Oh,
was it
I was
bad?
gonna say Oreo.
Oriental Express.
Was it really that bad?
I didn't like it.
You're not the only one that says that. A lot of people
It
said
was
that.
Really?
I heard it's because they have classic storytelling. Is that why? Like it's slow paced.
Well, I didn't even
really
mind
wanted to
that.
see
I really think it's Johnny Depp.
I didn't mind Johnny Depp. He dies.
You're not the only one to say that.
Wow, just ruined the whole movie.
The murder, you figured out really at the beginning that obviously if someone's gonna die, it's gonna be that guy. And yeah, but I don't know. It was
Someone's gonna be dead.
someone gonna be dead. And
It's that douchebag over there.
Hey, we're sorry we ruined that movie, but it sucks. All right, moving on.
No,
What else
but
did you
no.
I mean, I was kinda gonna
just a
watch it, but
quick
thanks for
comment
ruining
on
it.
Like, I don't recommend you watch it in the theaters. It's not a bad movie, but it is slow pace.
Are you recommending
But
that people
I-
watch it pirated?
No, I watch it after it's out in Netflix. But it's just I don't know. It was just a bland story. Anyways. And then I also played Mario Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
And I rewatched Stranger Things season 1.
Wow, that's good. That's good.
Did you like it more this time?
I picked up some more detail, kind of. I started rewatching season 2 a little.
Did you watch Beyond Stranger Things?
No, I'm
The
kind of
Duffer Brothers are on there,
Yeah, I know. I've heard.
and you can tell that which one's Ross and which one's the other one.
Is that how you found out?
No, I found out by looking them up.
Oh,
Do you think they're gonna follow
found-
the Wachowskis?
the Wachowskis? Who are they?
The
The
Matrix.
Wachowski brothers are the people that created the Matrix.
Oh, I thought you were
No,
gonna.
the Wachowski sisters now.
I thought you
They
were gonna say the
had
Blue
sex
Brothers
changes.
or something.
That's
Brothers.
interesting.
You know who are my favorite
Just
twins that are artists? No, no ideas.
No idea.
The Quay brothers, not the Cohen, not the Blue brothers.
The what?
The Quay brothers.
Quay.
Quay.
Huh.
Quay.
Quay.
What did they do?
They're
Isn't that like
from,
a-
I think
isn't
they're
that
from
like
the
a-
Czech
Isn't that like a
Republic.
bird? Isn't that a bird?
That's a quail.
Yeah, it's a Quay quell.
Sorry.
They do stop motion animation. Creepy ass.
Oh, sounds cool.
Sounds like you're having it.
Look it up. Look it up. Look it up. Look. That's all I did. Goodbye.
Okay.
Okay, tell me what you up to.
So Netflix bought on another original for their anime section of Fate Stay Night, but it was actually Fate Apocalypse. I can't pronounce it, but it was actually really cool. The fighting scenes were way more intense, and it was the storyline was kind of crazy, but it's not over, so they left it like kind of open ended. So I'm hoping another season of it. I also started watching. I don't know if you've ever seen the Magi series or the Magi series on Netflix. There's 3 actual seasons of they're different. One is the Legend of Sinbad. One is the.
Is that what you dressed up as now?
Yes, I.
For the Mario hat.
And then one is I forgot the name of it. I saw, and then the book library of something. I don't know. And then the current one that I'm watching now is the Kingdom of Magic. It's actually really good. I didn't think I would like it, but kind of got into it. It's like a Middle Eastern Alibaba, Aladdin story, but like in a different context.
Do you eat
With
a lot
like
of kebab?
no, they don't need any actually. Surprisingly,
That's messed up.
I also continued watching Mr. Robot, The Walking Dead, Dragon Ball Z Super. There's a new power level now.
What?
Well, it was introduced before, but yeah, Beyond Blue now.
Is it Super Saiyan
No, I can't tell you.
triple?
Also continue watching Food Wars, which is getting interesting. They introduced like a villain in this series. I didn't think you could even do that, but apparently yes, you can.
Oh man.
I've been playing a little bit of Mario, playing a little bit of Assassin's Creed, still playing a little bit of StarCraft here and there, and yeah, that's pretty much all I did.
Have you tried StarCraft HU yet? The first one?
No, I bought it, but I haven't played it yet.
That's how they get you. They got you all hyped to go to BlizzCon, and then you go.
Well, I know I will eventually play it because I'm a huge fan. That was the first computer game that I ever played. Was StarCraft.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
First computer game I ever played, was Transport Tycoon.
Well, I mean, if you want to be technical, Tetris was actually the first.
My first one was Minesweeper, so suck it. We talking about old games?
We going back?
Okay,
Shit.
I played Minesweeper first before that.
I remember
on
playing
my
that in school.
X46, but
Yo, it looks like
the first like real game was Transport Tycoon. But the first online game
Look
I
like
played
thimbles
was
on your head.
Diablo.
Diablo 2 was was my favorite.
I played Diablo online too, but I think the very first game I ever played was Minesweeper, and then number 2 was that weird game where you're skiing and there's a weird Yeti. Chasing you.
I played that too.
Ski slope or something.
Well, they're not like. Do you consider those like real games?
Well, there was a game.
That's true. They're games.
I guess like the first full official game that I played would be StarCraft. Or no, actually Warcraft 2. No, StarCraft, and then Warcraft 2 along with it.
I played Warcraft 2.
Yeah, that was cool.
Long before StarCraft.
Well, I didn't.
I played Warcraft 1
I play Super Mario.
a long time before.
I play
don't know
The
why.
Sims.
Anyway, relax.
I don't
Stop
know why.
mentioning penises.
I never
Let's get to this.
I don't know why, but I never played any of the first ones other than StarCraft. Like I played Diablo 2, but not Diablo 1. I played Warcraft 2, but not Warcraft 1. It was weird. I don't
You know
know.
why? Because you ain't rich. All right, moving on. So, what did I do this week?
I don't know. So
All
what
right,
did you do this
What
week?
I did this week is I watched a lot of shows about cooking. And I don't know why I was doing that. Maybe I was in the mood for cooking because, shit happens. Shit got real. It's getting close to winter.
It's
I got
getting close
sick.
to weather.
I was
to
off for
winter.
like 3 days from work, so I was like, you know what? What the hell? Might as well watch some shit about cooking because you
Wait,
can't
serious? Home sick? Didn't want to know what to do, so just tortured yourself by watching food?
Plus, I could not move. So I decided, you know what? Best thing to freaking do is watch someone else cook and then think that I'm eating that
So
food.
what'd you watch, man? What'd you watch?
I'm telling you right now. So I watched some. Oh, shit, my phone. I watched Zumbo's Just Desserts. It's a show about making desserts. I don't know why the hell I watched it. It was terrible, but I watched it. They gave the same damn score every time. If one guy gave a score, the girl that was next to him, the same judge, would give the same goddamn score. I was getting so pissed. I watched something called The Great Baking Show. It was on Netflix. Then I watched The Big Family Cookie Show. It's on Netflix. I watched.
Why is everything so dramatic?
I watched the whole season of both of them. I watched Cool Runnings because that shit is on.
I love that
What is
movie.
this thing you're doing with your hand? You
So
put like a cherry on top? Like,
I don't know. It looks like a tongue. So, Super Mario Odyssey, I played that. That was really good. I watched a little bit of Bleach. I don't get it. I
What,
don't
the
get
anime?
it yet. Yeah, the anime.
you got to keep watching it. You'll
I
understand.
don't know. There's some crazy shit happened. Some guy chopped someone with a sword, and I was like,
You
what
got
the
to
hell?
keep watching it. It takes a while.
All right. I watched The Rise of a Super Gamer. It's a show on Netflix. Play StarCraft with Tommy's mom. And
What?
And then we just had a good time.
Played StarCraft with Tommy's mom.
She got online. She whooped my ass. She played Zerg, and she went Speed Demon.
Oh, she played the Zerg, huh?
What she'd be like, I'm going to show you what it's like.
She went in there and she popped.
Did she Zerg rush you?
She Zerg rushed me with like 20 Zerglings. I got like one ACV and they fucked me up. I don't know. And one ACV tried to stop her. It didn't stop. Anyway, that's a joke. Me and Tommy played together. I think one or two rounds.
Okay, then.
And what do we do?
We were playing one match, and then like I'm already like halfway through killing one. He's like attacking out. He's over there. He's just so into building. He forgot to attack, and I'm
But
like,
then-
dude, the game's almost over. He goes, shit.
Oh, that was the first game. The second game we
Ah,
played
man.
2 versus 4. 2 versus 4 AIs, and guess what? My ass killed like 3 of the AIs.
Yeah, that's because they kept attacking me the whole time. You just got the build.
It's all right.
I held him off with Protoss cannons.
That's fine. You're good, baby.
We tried to get Will to play with us, but he was like, "Nah, I got better things to do." We were like, "Oh,
We
It was
did a
just
lot.
one time
Oh.
you asked. You never
We-
asked the other
we
one
asked
time.
3 times.
When?
Those 3 times we asked.
What was the other 2 times?
you know, before that,
When was that?
Never happened.
it happened.
Talking out your butt.
No, I'm not.
Hey, Ellie, get out of this.
Hey, you know
All
what-
right, so when we were looking into nerd news, there's a lot of nerd news this week, so we went and put in 5 items and an extra. One's breaking today. So let's get in the first item.
Nerd news. Here we go.
Snap lost nearly $40 million on unsold spectacles. Go down. Let's see what they look like. So if you haven't seen these before, you may have seen these somewhere on the internet. Maybe you've seen them on somebody's face.
You had them.
I have a pair for my wife. I bought it for her birthday.
And then you stole them.
Didn't you have 2 pairs?
No, we'll have one pair with 2 different sets of glasses in them.
Oh.
So she has a prescription, so she needs to wear a prescription set, and there they are. And they lost $40 million because nobody wanted to buy them. Because
Well, they look crazy.
Well,
a little bit more inconspicuous. I think maybe you'd sell more.
They're expensive.
They're expensive. They're like $200.
Shit.
So
what is it? It just Snapchats the whole time?
No, you can Snapchat whenever you want by pushing the button, and it does a whole video. Plus, it's like a 360 kind of a video where you can
kind of a little
twist
sphere.
it.
How the hell? Yeah. Oh, I was like, how the hell is it 360?
So it has a camera. It has a camera on one side, and then the other side has a light bulb that tells people that you're recording, so that it's not sneaky. Because they don't want people doing weird shots, like doing like
you just accidentally walk into a woman's restroom. Oh, excuse me.
And that's why it looks so unique too. I'm sure.
Yeah.
So they can see what you're wearing.
That's why they're using the
It's
yellow.
pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I mean, when you play with it, it's pretty cool. But it's a little.
That
bit
would be cool
low-tech.
that would be cool at like a convention. Like you don't want to like hold a camera in your hand, but you want to like low key film.
Yeah, it's
so
cool.
You walk the convention floors.
Honestly, it's really cool. But the thing is that it eats up a lot of time. It eats a lot of time because it has to transfer that big video to your phone via Bluetooth. Number 2.
It doesn't continuously send it, or it just sends when it's done.
Sends you a 10-second clip. So it's not like a really long clip. But anyway, they didn't make any money, so they lost a lot of money on that. So good luck, Snapchat, being profitable. Next one. NASA is allowing VR and AR headset owners to follow Curiosity's tracks on
Oh, that's still pretty cool.
Mars.
I might try to do that.
So if you push that video, you can see. And then turn off the sound. So you can follow Curiosity's movements using a VR headset.
You know why they're doing this, right?
Well, you have to turn it around, Will. It's 360.
Oh, really?
On space travel.
Yeah. So
No, they want to. This is how
It
you
looks
get
like
funding.
it's computer generated though. It doesn't look
You make it interesting enough.
it's an image. I don't know if it's 100% that. I maybe.
That's insane, dude.
The Curiosity. You know how big Curiosity is? It's huge. It's like the size of your car almost, Will.
Really?
Your tiny ass Prius? Yeah, it's
My
huge.
Prius C.
Yeah, it's big.
Can we just talk about the fact that that thing is on an actual planet that is not our planet,
Yeah.
and it looks like the fucking desert.
It looks like
That's Mars.
Egypt. It looks like Assassin's Creed Origins.
It looks like
No,
freaking-
it's
it
still
looks like the Mojave, son.
it's so surreal. It's like
Death Valley.
it's an actual planet.
Oh, you
and
should-
if
you
you
should
and if
have
you
been
were
on
to
that
stand there, you would be dead instantly.
Would I?
Yes, no oxygen.
Are you sure?
Yep.
I mean.
I'm sorry, what?
They found.
I mean, you might survive, like, you know,
yeah.
being an alien. You know.
Yeah. Let me tell you.
What are you talking about? Let me tell you what.
I don't know. I was just saying.
There you go, Will. There's the size of the Curiosity for you. All right, Stranger Things. Fans crashed local museum's website by buying $400,000 worth of dinosaur hoodies. So if you go down, you'll see the hoodie, hopefully. Go down.
That's a pretty cool Stranger Things neon.
Well,
That's a real neon, right?
yeah, it's real neon.
Anyway.
Go down. That's a sweater they're selling.
The
buying.
Brontosaurus one.
Guess what? I bought one. So it's
We
coming.
bought one?
Yeah, so it'll be. I bought it before it broke as news.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know when it's coming.
So you're part of the people that were the problem.
Well, I guess
Then-
I was. I was. Before, I
Wow.
think it was before it was the problem, though, because I didn't know about this until after they crashed it. I found out they're selling it, and then I went, "Oh, I'm gonna buy it."
How much was the shirt?
It was like $40.
God damn.
Well, it goes to a good cause.
Hey,
The
does
Science Museum
it
in
come that
Minnesota.
size or what?
Brontosauruses don't exist though, right?
I'm saying that at least it goes to a good cause. It's not
What?
going.
That's part of the theming. Is like in the 80s, everybody believed that they existed but it's actually 2 different dinosaurs that put together.
Wait,
Oh, that's
you mean
cool.
wait? You mean brontosauruses don't exist?
Yeah.
This
So-
whole time I killed them in Ark, they never existed. Man, that's
Hey,
heartbreaking.
so he'll.
You know the ones from Jurassic Park? Those existed.
Isn't that a
but the-
brontosaurus?
No, it's not a brontosaurus.
The hell is that then?
It's something else.
That's a brontosaurus.
It's not a brontosaurus.
Brontosaurus has got to be a dinosaur.
Dude, I'm telling you, they're not brontosauruses.
This-
Hey, shut up.
You like shattered my whole life. What?
What was that?
The more you talk, the more dumb you make yourself sound.
Actually,
So he'll.
it looks like it existed, William.
I'm sorry.
Take your bottom
That's a
lip
brachiosaurus.
and then pull it over your face.
That's a brachiosaurus that you saw in Jurassic Park 1.
Oh,
For some reason, on Wikipedia it says it's real. I'm going to leave it alone.
Do you believe Wikipedia?
yes, I
Yes,
do.
I do. It's very, very accurate.
Yes.
So many people monitoring it. My teachers tell me the same shit, but whenever I looked at that shit, they're like, "Yeah, I can't refute that's correct." So
Wait, what?
This is real.
Oh, wait. No, there's news here. Brontosaurus stomps back to claim its status as a real dinosaur. So apparently people are trying to debunk it.
Your news is mid-news. So that,
told you.
I got one, but it looks like it's really cool. Plus, it goes to a good cause because it's going to the museum. It's not going to a third-party seller.
Is it exactly the same?
Yeah, exactly
Like
the same.
purple
It's not
and
the
stuff?
same size, obviously, because I'm not a child.
adult size.
Even though I look like a goddamn child right now, but I don't have a child size. So it's comes in adult
Put
size.
on your dog.
Okay. Hulu app is now on Switch. What will you do, guys? Wait, that's the. Where does it go?
Here we go.
One more time.
Is it
Tommy.
good neighbor? Oh.
Go ahead.
Hulu hitting the Nintendo Switch. It actually hit it a couple days ago. So Hulu is basically
Garbage.
on Switch. You guys
Garbage.
can watch your Hulu.
Hulu is
app
garbage.
on-
What about Netflix?
Hulu is
Not yet.
garbage.
Netflix is being developed now.
Can you stop saying the same thing?
I'm sorry, Hulu is
got-
garbage.
I got
This-
it. You
I don't
don't
know why they would allow that bullshit service on there where you have to pay for crap where you don't get the whole season of the current season. It makes no sense.
Okay, Tommy. All right, so
Sorry.
basically you get
Anger.
Hulu on there. It's really cool. I mean, I guess it doesn't.
Well, this means it's got to mean that Netflix is on the horizon.
Netflix is actually working with Nintendo. I just don't know when it will come out.
Yeah,
This
they have it
also
on 3DS.
Yeah.
This also means that people's Switches
Wii U.
are about to start turning into people's iPads.
I don't know. I think that
It
it just,
doesn't have web browsing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but it's going to turn into the I want to watch some shows while I
I can
study.
see if they can make it so that you can store the videos on local, then yeah, that makes sense. But I don't know if it's.
But it doesn't have any. This thing's so
I
small
call
in space.
I call my Switch a travel companion for flights. So I think it's cool.
yeah, pretty much.
Hopefully
you know,
Netflix
if you
is
go
on the way.
somewhere, you have a really good portable gaming console.
Yeah, you can
Exactly.
play full on games. All right, next story. Disney announces a new Star Wars trilogy. They apparently really like Rian Johnson, so Disney said, "You know what? The Force will live on," and they're going to give them another trilogy.
This is completely separate from.
Yes,
George Lucas's?
Lucasfilms and Disney later basically stated that Johnson will write and direct in first entry in a new trilogy. Basically, they're going to build a brand new trilogy off Star Wars. So Star Wars basically is going to become a movie that's going to come out every year for the next
Like
5
20
years.
They're gonna milk this franchise, run this franchise to the ground. I don't know. That must mean that this movie that's coming out has got The Last Jedi. It's got to be really good, right?
Oh, well, apparently that's what they're
Well,
saying.
no, there's one more after this, isn't there?
Because this is director hasn't worked with Star Wars previously, but they're already trusting him this much, so it must be amazing.
Yeah, I from what I heard, they really Disney must really like The Last Jedi, so they're gonna give this guy a whole trilogy to himself.
I hope they
that's
do
huge.
like the old Republic stories and stuff.
Well, we don't know. It may be, but it looks like what was it? The head of this one?
That'd be
is
cool. I'm in for that.
Yeah. The hell you guys?
J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams is basically the shepherd of this set of trilogies.
What?
J.J. Abrams is
Snoopy ass
He's
even though
shepherding
he's
these
kind of
set.
like the middleman.
Yeah, he's basically him in the new set. So he's basically shepherding this whole system. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully Disney doesn't milk it too much to the point where everyone hates Star Wars.
Nah, I hope they milk it to the cow dies.
That's messed up. Last bit of news. This is breaking actually as of right now. I found out recently that Amazon sets the Lord of the Rings TV series in mega deal with multi-season commitment. So it looks like they're going to launch a Lord of the Rings show and said to be close to $250 million to acquire the TV rights.
It's pretty crazy.
Based on the fantasy novels by J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah, you want to say the other name, which is the guy that does
And there's
Game of
also
Thrones.
a potential spin-off series
Could be, yeah.
as well.
Isn't that what I would think?
So are
that
they just
do a
remaking
spin-off
the
here.
Lord of the Rings? Or?
I would think that's a spinoff. That's my guess.
No, they're doing that.
They're doing
plus.
the actual Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, look.
Like the
it
Lord of the
also
Rings story.
includes. I don't know. Go down.
They said that they can do a potential spin-off of the
Scroll.
set.
If I were them, I'd do a
Scroll
spinoff
your
because the
boat.
movies have already been done.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they're not going to be...
Oh, it's going to be prequel to Fellowship of the Ring, is what it
Yeah,
says here.
it could be a lot of stuff. It could be between The Hobbit.
It could
and
be
that.
those times when Sauron was still like a powerful.
We don't
thing,
know what
or-
it's going to be,
or
but
the
it looks,
origins of Sauron. That would be cool.
it's a lot of money they're spending because that's
There's a lot you can do with that world, so
There's a lot.
Good on Amazon. I just hope it's better than the Marvel Universe on Netflix.
Wow, they spent an insane amount of money just to buy the rights, so hopefully it's good. Because Amazon needs something to get Amazon Video to go.
And this is
is Amazon or Netflix is doing this?
Amazon.
This is the first step to Amazon taking over the world.
Well,
Lord of the Rings.
looks like Netflix was approached and HBO was, but they didn't take it. So Amazon jumped on
I'm telling you, eventually it's going to be like AT&T, Disney, Amazon.
Well, it's going to give me more justification for having Prime, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, that's true.
Oakley dokley. To our first topic of the week and why I'm dressed like an idiot. Super Mario Odyssey, what we're here to talk about. It's our first topic of the week, and let's go into it. Super Mario Odyssey returns with explorative sandboxed gameplay seen in Super Mario 64 at first, which was one of our favorites. I think one of my favorites. And Super Mario Sunshine, which is another sandbox type game. And also you had Super Mario Galaxy, which is kind of the same thing.
Yeah, Super Mario Galaxy, I think, is like the last version that's kind of like this.
Yeah, where Mario explores various areas in order to collect power moons. Instead of collecting stars, you're collecting power moons, kind of like your Super Mario 64. There is no central hub in this world, and basically you're powering up your flying ship, which is called the Odyssey, to fly around from kingdom to kingdom. As the Odyssey is used to move from one location to another, Mario maintains basically his ability to move around kingdoms or different worlds by using this airship Odyssey. Mario also contains all his moves that you had in Mario 64, and you get to keep his backflip, roll, side somersault, triple jump, long jump, ground pound jump, spin jump, and the returning dive.
Yeah, I think the only moves they took away is the punch kick.
Yeah,
which is replaced by throwing Cappy.
Yeah, throwing Cappy instead.
That's what
but you get those powers return, which is, it feels kind of intuitive if you played N64 version. You kind of didn't really have to go through the action steps or action moves or whatever it is that they had in there. All right, let's jump into development.
Oh, real quick, I got to say, there's some really complicated crap you can do with the moves in this game.
Yeah, you can.
I know.
There's one where, I've seen people get up to the top of buildings. What they do is they wall jump, they throw the hat, they ground stomp. Before they actually go anywhere with the ground stomp, they do that dash, then they jump on the hat, they go back to the wall and just do that until they get to the top of the building. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I've seen that
and
before.
they plan that because on top of the building they hide a bunch of coins.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the hell? I tried to do it, I can't do it.
I found
takes
areas,
a lot of practice.
Dude, I couldn't even get up a regular ass hill. It was
I found an area where there was at least, 40, 50 coins on top of a building. And I was like, how did I get up here? I don't even know what I did. And I just did a backflip to a wall jump, to a Cappy push, to a wall jump.
That's how you got there.
I was like, dude, what am I doing? I don't know. I've gotten really far with, that looks terrible. I forgot that looked terrible.
Yeah, you can do a lot of crazy stuff.
By the way, that looks terrible.
What looks terrible?
The character on the left just hopping around, and the character on the right. Sorry.
Looks great.
No, you missed.
Well,
frame rate drop.
If you want to address that now, this game had New Donk City in it, which is actually like New York kind of a thing, and they have real people there, which is kind of very odd because you have
his feet.
Yeah, you have realistic people.
What's wrong with
You have realistic people with weird animations next to Mario.
Do you jump like that?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
His
jumps with their
don't
toes
bend.
like that.
So the only other game I can think that did this is Sonic the Hedgehog 4. Do you remember that game?
Yeah.
No. Sonic the Hedgehog. They retitled it for the 360 and PS3 because it was like a reboot, and they had him flirt with this real girl. It was really, really awkward, and you actually went in this real town. It was really poor, and everybody hated it. They pulled it off better than that.
Yeah,
but it's still a little weird.
I don't mind. I mean, what is Mario? Compared to them.
Yeah, I mean, they have, what's her name?
He's a superhero.
What's her name? The one singing the song. Pauline. They have Pauline, which hasn't made an appearance since Donkey Kong.
Yeah, long time ago.
And she looks convincing because she's kind of cartoonish, but all the realistic looking weird people are kind of weird.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let me jump into some development. This is kind of interesting stuff if you like development. Development for Super Mario Odyssey began right after Super Mario World 3D was released in late 2013. Miyamoto sought more senior developers and staff team members.
It's a long time of development.
Yeah, that's what 4 years almost of development.
Yeah, well, look at how good the game is.
Yeah, I mean,
first time you see a game that has been taking a long time to develop and is actually amazing.
Well, Mario believes in the game has to be good before it's released.
Yes,
like no problems.
Which is how it should be every time.
That's true. Miyamoto sought more senior developers and staff team members who had been involved in past Mario 3D titles in order to really go back to the roots of Super Mario Sunshine and Super Mario 64. As a result, Yoshiaki Kozumi was made the game producer, which is the guy that actually talked about
the Switch,
the original with the
cold breath and the ice cubes.
Yeah, that's the person that we had. Oh,
he's
that was
the guy
so cool.
he's unfortunately
he had to take over.
He took over for.
I forgot his name. What's his name again? Well,
crap. He died. We're disrespecting his memory.
I'll find his name.
God damn it. He's a really important guy. Mr.
Yokozuna.
Mr.
Oh, please don't say that. That was wrong.
Takahari?
God damn it. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't say his name. Oh. It's just not coming to me. Mr. Sohel.
Mr. Aladdin, sir?
Mishio something.
Mr. Shipoof.
Miyamoto? Shigeru?
No. Shigeru Miyamoto is the creator of Mario.
Yeah.
Nintendo
I don't know why
president dies. Satoru Iwata.
When did he? How
Iwata. Man, I was
Satoru Iwata.
Oh, that's right.
Who was the face of the company and doing all those things. Really cute with
unboxing the Wii U.
With the white gloves and all those things. And Koizumi's replaced, basically filled in his shoes for all these videos and things.
Even though it's not like he wanted to do it. It's something he just.
I mean, he has a personality for it. He's not as cute as Iwata.
Well, that's true.
He's got some weird looking teeth, but
can't fault the guy's looks. I mean, he tries. I mean, he was pretty convincing on the Switch one. I'm gonna tell you right now, I actually love that ice cube thing.
Yeah, that was cool.
But anyway, he wanted to get back to. He was the main game producer and of Super Mario 3D World. Basically, he signed on Super Mario World director Kenta Kuwara again. Took on the role of director of Super Mario Odyssey. And Miyamoto remained with the consultative role throughout the development. Basically, Miyamoto, the man that invented Mario, stayed on to consult on this game. Basically, although he had contributed a lot of feedback, he was also very accepting of the development team's ideas. Kuwara revealed in early stages of development involved creating a huge amount of gameplay prototypes with numerous ideas for Mario, and one of the ideas was capture abilities.
Ooh.
So he was one that invented.
Obviously, that paid off.
Yeah, the Cappy captures. The capture ability was one of the ideas that came up, but we worked on. Basically, what they said actually. We worked on it for 2 to 3 days, and it instantly turned into something that was really fun. And we decided that it should be the center of the game for Super Mario Odyssey. Many of the other different prototype ideas were still included, providing for diversity in the game mechanics throughout the game stages known as kingdoms. These fully realized worlds were said to have been inspired by the Japanese Hakuanda box gardens that bring rich landscapes into life in miniaturized form. The size of these worlds were often adjusted to ensure that the player can regularly discover and engage action and perform. And it was also intended to allow handheld players to still accomplish Power Moon missions, even if they only had a few minutes to play.
Yeah, it is true. You jump into the world, you can immediately get a Power Moon. But the only thing that bothers me is I kind of miss the Mario Galaxy worlds.
Yeah,
because all these worlds have a clear wall or a clear cliff that leads to nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like either it leads to the abyss or you have a wall that you can't get past.
Yeah. Well, I think that was, I think it didn't really bother me too much. That wall didn't bother me too much personally. I thought it was cool that they were so small and compact, but there's so much stuff in it. Even though like this world that you're at, the lake world that you're at right now in the video, there's a lot of moons here and a lot of coins. So I was surprised on how much stuff there is.
There's a lot of everything. Like this,
and this world
so
is,
much.
This is one of the smallest worlds, I think.
Yeah.
One of the smaller ones after the Mushroom Kingdom. Mushroom Kingdom.
There's
small.
so much into this. Like every detail.
Yeah.
I'm like really impressed.
Well,
like,
it's a lot like Zelda, where everywhere
Yes.
you look, there's something to discover or figure out.
I think they did that intentionally because people really liked that old school feel of like after you're done with Bowser, you could like still do stuff.
Yeah.
In
It's
64.
kind of like 64s, yeah.
It's like they want you to just be like Sohail said. They
Replay
want you
it.
to pick it up and be able to figure something out in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, they
or
want you
5
to-
minutes.
Just for a few minutes, you can play it. But I have
Yeah.
2 questions for everyone here. I want you guys to answer in order.
Oh.
So I'll go. Let's go clockwise. So it goes to Will, Ellie, then you, Tommy, then to me.
Why not me first?
Because clockwise.
But I could be like.
Okay, stop.
Shut up, Ellie.
Tommy.
Ellie just wants to go first.
At least that person. What
always
about
gonna-
my rights?
You're always going to be second, regardless of which way you went on the clock.
Damn.
What do you guys think about the capture ability? And what is your favorite item to capture? Go, William.
I love the capture ability.
Oh,
I
he
think
would.
it's
I love.
a good change to the game because I mean we've done all the regular stuff before. Where the only thing they could do is like Mario Galaxy, you're just exploring,
Right.
And the new mechanic there was that you're exploring little worlds, and they're using the gravity to the advantage of Mario there. In Super Mario Sunshine, it was about the water, which we pretty much turned into Splatoon. And in this game, what are you going to do? They thought of the capture ability. It really gives the game the unique ability that you need from the game for it to make it interesting. And there's a lot of crazy puzzles that you can do from this. I think my favorite thing to take over is the bullet bill.
Bullet bills are pretty cool. Though you can't change their height level, you can change their speeds. And if you shake your controller, you get even more crazy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, Ellie, your turn.
The capture ability.
Would you like
the
it as an
capture?
addition?
Like, I like taking over people's brains, so I guess that's good.
Oh,
Oh, wow, that's kind of interesting.
It's like
What are
you're.
you, a parasite?
Yeah. I'm actually, parasitic alien.
Okay. And what's your favorite thing to capture in the game?
So far, because I haven't gone through everything yet, I like to take over the little Goombas.
the Goombas. Oh, those are fun because you can
There's a
stack the Goombas. That's what makes it fun.
Well, there's also another thing
they're
with it.
stupid
There's a
looking.
special thing you get with them if you do a special
Oh.
mission.
Really?
So, yeah.
No,
There's
it's a common thing.
And what-
It's
and
in each world. It's a common thing.
Yeah.
In what area?
It's in every world.
Look for a female Goomba. That's all
And she
I'm
wears
saying.
she has very
I
nice
got one.
lipstick on.
She likes to fall in love with the male ones.
She loves that mustache.
So stupid.
But she gets really pissed off when you pop out of their heads, and then she's like, no. And she
Ah,
goes off. Tommy, do you like the capture ability? What's your favorite?
Originally, I did not. When I first saw it, I actually was against, and I thought it was stupid, and I didn't like the whole hat thing coming alive. I just didn't resonate with me. But
Sorry.
when I actually played the game, ironically, I actually really liked it. It felt kind of like Mario wasn't, because the way how it starts, it felt like, damn, Mario's just it's just on a bad luck. But then you kind of get this companion. So it kind of like, I don't know, it kind of grows on you really quickly. And then how they get really creative with the hat and what it can do, it was like a whole, like Will says, like a whole different world now, like a whole different mechanic that made the game way more worth trying it.
Yeah, it gives you more creative puzzles.
Yeah, it's something new. Like, like he said, like what else can you do with Mario? He jumps, he saves the princess 100 fucking times, and even though she's retarded enough to get caught every time.
She's not
But what else could you do with Mario other than just have cool landscapes? And this is the really good solution or answer to it. And my favorite thing to capture is the frogs.
Those frogs are pretty
Because they
interesting.
just go so high. And it's like, wee! I don't know.
And then I like the capture ability quite a bit because it gives you a lot of interesting gameplay that you can do because there's a lot of things that you can capture. Later on, you capture some classic characters that are made into 3D form, which you're like, oh my god, I can't believe they made these guys. I haven't seen them since the Super Mario edition, which if you don't know who it is, it's I don't want to spoil it for you. But my favorite thing to capture is the T-Rex because it makes Yoshi look like a punk.
Yeah, it does. That was really cool.
And I know the character you're talking about. It's really cool.
Yeah, I was
They
like,
can
dude,
take over
I
that character.
Let me tell you. Let me ask you a question.
If you played Super Mario World,
Yeah, Super Mario.
you would know the character.
Have
I'm not
you-
gonna spoil it. What have you not seen since Super Mario World?
Have you
about
ever? Do you find with this capture ability? Do you find yourself randomly throwing the hat?
Yeah, I do it all
A
the time.
lot,
I throw
yeah.
the hat a lot, and sometimes
Just
I throw
'cause
the
it's
hat-
fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I throw it because I'm like I need
I
to
don't
get
like
jump
that guy.
jump a little further.
It's like boomerang. It's like
It's
But-
Odyssey.
it's like a friend you can never get rid of.
Odyssey. It's Odyssey.
Is there? Do you
Odyssey.
take, do you take,
Odyssey.
okay, do you take over a Yoshi in Mushroom Kingdom? I haven't figured it out yet,
Yeah.
but I see the apples. I haven't taken over Yoshi or anything.
He's
yet.
on top of the castle.
Oh, okay, I haven't found him yet. So just like Mario 64.
Yes, he's just like Mario 64. Plus, there's
I'm sorry. There was a Yoshi in Mario 64.
Yeah, except you can't ride him. You just talk to him.
You just
It's
talk
only
to him.
after you capture all the stars.
Yeah, he's
What?
on. He's on
I never
top.
did that. That's probably
By the
why
way,
I'm like, what
there's
the
a throwback to this Mario 64 when you enter the castle. I don't know if you figured it out or not.
Yeah. There's lots. Well, there's lots of throwbacks.
I bet I know what it is.
What is it?
Eternal Stairs.
No.
Damn, that would have been the coolest.
No, it's remember when you first looked up into the sky and then you went flying?
Oh,
But you
dude,
do that again.
that was amazing.
When you look up again, it does the same thing with the sun, but then all of a sudden moon pops out.
Yeah.
But it's the star, but it's a moon.
That reminded me the three caps that you could get. Holy crap, I forgot about that. Like flying cap, and then it was the metal cap.
That
What
flying,
was the last cap?
You know what would have been really cool with this? If they made Cappy have a flying ability, that would have killed it. I would have loved that. Anyway, moving on. I gotta get moving because there's a lot to talk about.
Well, yeah, you can take over flying like Goombas and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. But
Nah.
that comes out later.
Okay.
Anyway, design decisions. Super Mario Odyssey themed is highly focused on surprises and travel. And the developer incorporated many of their travel experiences around the world. For instance, elements of the Sand Kingdom was derived from Kenta Motokura's experience during a trip to Mexico. And Lebanon, I think.
That's actually my favorite area is the Mexico inspired area.
Yeah.
I really like the poncho and the sombrero hat and the
Day of the Dead.
Day of the
That's
Dead
where
looking
that's
characters.
where I'm at right now with the ice and
That's
stuff.
why I like them. That's
you
why I like
haven't
the
gone
desert.
through the first. Oh my god.
That's where I'm at right now.
There's a character. If you and the Luncheon Kingdom food aesthetic was inspired by Italy and other European countries.
It's an actual star.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It says that this is a weird moon. Something like that.
Yeah,
Because it's the Mushroom Kingdom.
the Mushroom Kingdom is basically all of them are stars, just like they were in the original 64 version. So,
Look, it's a skeleton suit.
yeah, but it's very expensive. I could
Yeah,
not
like,
buy
I
it.
couldn't afford it.
Yeah, $999.
I'm gonna buy it.
I'm gonna save off just for that.
Okay.
Bitches, I'm gonna have it before you.
Run around. I'm Skelly Mario.
The developers recognize that when traveling from foreign countries, something that has really had an impact in different and has an impact is the different currencies from world to world. Have you noticed that once you go from one world to another world, the currencies change, just like if you went to one country to another?
The purple coins are the ones that change. And it's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
So the Luncheon Kingdom, you get little different types of coins, and if you go to the Bowser Kingdom, you get Japanese dollar coins.
What's really cool is the Bowser. You kind of got the feeling of Super Mario 3 that the Bowser area kind of had like some Japanese elements to it.
You did.
But
The money was Japanese too.
But in this game, like it's totally Japanese. Like they have samurai suits, all kinds of. And my favorite, actually, no, I take that back. Bullet Bill is not my favorite character to take over. It's the bird with the pecker nose.
Oh, that's an interesting character.
I love that thing.
That's an interesting character. It has a very weird dynamic. Wait, look at that. Tommy, this is one of my favorite things I got, and he got this too. Super Mario 64.
Oh my god.
You didn't notice that? I sent you a picture.
I didn't notice it
Oh my
because it looks
God.
just like. Is it really how bad he looked?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Man, that game looked so good when we were kids.
It was like the best game that was ever made when I was
They're
a child.
talking about, we're looking at the YouTube video if you're watching it, that we're watching myself playing the game, and I just bought the Super Mario 64 costume, the hat and the outfit.
I don't like it.
And
I
it
like-
looks
I like how
just
it
like
looks
he
now.
did in Super Mario 64.
I don't like it.
All right. So basically, therefore, the Mario collecting the different regional coins in each kingdom is basically like if you went traveling from country to country to country, buying different kind of money. So since the player travels outside the Mushroom Kingdom, the diverse art style between all the different kingdoms aimed in recreating the feelings of surprise and discovery when visiting foreign lands. It is also noted that a lot of time was spent in getting the right balance between familiar Mario concepts and newly developed ones. So you get Diddy Kong. Well, that's pretty cool.
Put on a dress? What the hell?
Yeah, I had that one. And an example was a realistic T-Rex that was able to be captured by Mario. The developers looked back for inspiration from familiar Super Mario World elements in Dinosaur Land. Excuse me, I'm dying. Although they wanted to use a design that was unseen in a Mario game. Familiar gameplay elements included an 8-bit side-scrolling areas in the kingdom, which is really cool. In this game, you're able to play as an 8-bit Mario, and you also get to keep your costumes if you have a different type of costume.
And you're not just playing as 8-bit Mario, it's creatively used in the world. Like you go around corners, and if you're watching the YouTube video, there was a really cool one they did with New Donk City, which is really neat.
Yes.
Yeah, that was actually pretty sweet.
Familiar gameplay, in which the process is more confined and precise. This is intended to be engaging contrast to the 3D sandbox environment. So they kind of made it so if you had to go up like a tower, they would make you do an 8-bit version so it made the world bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is, if you remember this area, Tommy, if you stand in the middle of a star and you looked up.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Oh, my God.
The developers knew that they wanted to have a city environment in the game that would resonate with players as new Donkey Kong inspired elements in the city came about. Pauline's presence in the series inspired the team to have her be the mayor of New Donk City, which is like New York City, which is Donkey Kong City, kind of. Some characters' development for Pauline was required in her transition from a damsel in distress, which is she was the one that Donkey Kong captured originally in the original games, and Mario was supposed to save her as Jumpman.
Yeah. I got to say
Excuse me.
that what they chose to do with Pauline and what they chose to do with Princess Peach in this game,
whose gameplay is
very
this?
feminist friendly. It's mine.
Did you notice that there's those purple stars behind the throne?
I was just messing around, man. Calm down.
Oh, I'm just pointing
I was watching Stranger Things.
Of course you were.
In a major she was a damsel in distress. Now she's the mayor of the city, and it was decided that she would have an interest in jazz, which is really cool because that's one of the main songs that you listen to in your E3 trailer. It's led to composition of the game's theme song shown at the E3 trailer titled "Jump Up Superstar," which is what Ellie was singing earlier, which made her sound like a crazy person, but she was trying to sing part of it.
I sang it pretty well, didn't I?
Yeah, you got it pretty close.
Yeah, I know.
She's Eileen, as we call her here. Which was made,
That's funny.
which is made to give the game energy and help with audience excitement. Developed the game camera system. The game team looked at previous 3D Mario games. Miyamoto discussed how the 3D camera for Super Mario 64 worked very well, which just makes it feel like Super Mario 64. That if you mean Mario 64, the camera work where you controlled it with the C. And now instead of doing that, you're kind of controlling it with your right joystick before you kind of control it with the C.
Well, it's true because with Super Mario Galaxy, you didn't have the ability to control the camera at all.
Yeah, now you got to control it.
Yeah, now you can control it.
Basically, as it was the joystick as well as the C buttons to adjust the automatic camera, Super Mario Sunshine had a C stick in order to control the camera freely, although they received feedback that the camera control was a little bit difficult. With later Super Mario titles of Super Mario Galaxy, minimal control was given, just like William just stated. Also attracted some negative feedback. Miyamoto added, it is very difficult to find the right balance. With Super Mario Odyssey, we made sure that the camera controls were really smooth and easy to use. And the Switch controllers can really serve to have that. Really wanted to have a sandbox style kind of game that was really easy and feels really good to control. So, one little thing we're going to go into
My favorite part.
Your favorite part that Ellie really likes is the Amiibos and what Amiibos work with the game. The following Amiibos will give costume themes from the Amiibo. Go ahead, Ellie. Start with the first ones.
These three.
What ones are those?
This one is Princess Peach.
The wedding one, right? The one that came out with the
I
game?
wasn't done.
Okay, go
She
ahead.
has a wedding dress, so it obviously came out with the game. It's wedding. And then, all these are in the wedding suits. And then
Ooh.
Mario. And then,
Bowser.
I was going to say Koopa for a second there. Bowser.
He is King Koopa.
He's King Koopa with his top hat, and he's trying to rape Princess Peach.
Okay.
Oh my.
That's why he has his hand out for the raping.
Stop! No!
Is he gonna?
So bad.
Is he gonna grab her by the? Oh.
Stop. Anyways, they all have abilities, very big advantages if you.
Well, you get the exact costume or outfit they're wearing if you tap the amiibo on the amiibo
You
thing.
get their costume, so you'll take the clothes off of them, and then you'll also get. I forgot what I think. Bowser, you get the special coins revealed. I think Princess Peach is the life.
Okay.
And then Mario, I don't remember what.
You just realized what I'm going to do on
Don't they
Thanksgiving.
find moons for you?
We'll play this on Thanksgiving.
One of them helps you find moons. But yeah, those are three cool ones.
Okay. For the other
Oh,
ones,
what?
you
You
have
can still get hurt even if you stack Goombas?
the silver or the gold one that came out for the Mario Party one. You can get that one. Either way, you don't have silver. You're gold either way. The 8-bit Mario, you'll get if you use him, you'll get the coloration of the old Super Mario on NES, which is kind of like the off-color red and the off-color brown the color theme there. Wario, if you use him, you'll get the Wario outfit. Dr. Mario, if you use him, you get the Dr. Mario outfit.
Can't you buy the Dr. Mario outfit too?
Yes, you can.
Are you sure? I think it's like Crazy Doctor, isn't it?
Oh, if it's a different one,
I think it's like a weird
buy-
wig. It's not the same exact thing, but it's a Crazy Doctor. Luigi, you can use him, and it can be Super Mario or it can be the Super Smash Brothers ones. I do not have the actual amiibo. I just made the NFC chip for the Diddy Kong, and there's one other one, the Waluigi. I don't have those, so I had
I
to
was
make
thinking of buying
the NFC
Waluigi.
chip.
What's your favorite?
Outfit.
Yes.
Out of all these amiibos, I think my favorite one is
Dr. Mario.
Dr. Mario and
As I said.
Bowser.
How do you
I
get
was gonna say Bowser.
how do you get the outfits?
There's a little amiibo thing that you go to talk to, and then you tap the amiibo when you say you want to use it. He'll say, "Oh, this is a special amiibo," and because it's a special amiibo, it will come with a costume, and they'll just give you the costume. You can say, "Hey, do I want to change an hour later?" So that's what happens.
You need special ones. You can't just.
Any other amiibo is compatible, but it's only going to find moons for you. It's not going to give you a costume.
Catch that! I knew it.
Ellie saw me fishing and got excited because I caught a moon.
I couldn't get it. Nothing would come up.
Okay, so he'll.
Odyssey. It's Odyssey.
All right. So, Ellie, you excited about all the ones you got?
The what?
All the amiibos you got.
I actually haven't tapped all the amiibos on it. I haven't tapped any of
Dang.
them. I'm playing fair first.
Do you get benefits from using the different costumes? Like, do they come with abilities?
No, yeah,
No,
you
just
you,
cool looks.
only thing is you
Just
get
looks.
with costumes is you can get into special rooms. That's the only thing.
Bowser actually reacts differently to the costumes at the end. If you're wearing his wedding outfit, he'll say, "Oh, you're looking sharp. I like the costume," or something like that. If you're wearing the one where you're in the shorts, nothing else, he'd be like, "That's a really scary costume you're wearing, like the spooky or something like that." He has not for every costume does he have a reaction, but he reacts in different ways.
How
to
many
different
times did you go
outfits.
back? Jesus Christ. This guy tested
He's
them all.
just like, check out my outfit. Check it
He's
out.
showing off the
what
Bowser.
you gonna say now, Bowser?
So there's a lot of you could play this game for a long time
How'd you
because
get
there's
that key?
999. Oh, I found this. Yeah, this is an interesting
This is a
little.
goddamn zipper.
Yeah, you unzip it and it becomes a bridge. So
The creativity level
yeah,
is
this
just
creativity
baffling.
is crazy cool. And I don't understand these small Goombas. I didn't get them. I thought they were just supposed to,
They're trying
You
to
can't take
pretend
over
to-
them,
yeah. I think they're just supposed
so
to
they
be
took
a
over
waste.
regular Goombas.
And then they trick you because from a distance they look like coins.
Yeah, they do.
What?
They do.
No, they don't.
For
They,
the
they look
blind.
like gumdrops.
For the blind.
Hey.
Ooh.
Hey, just because I play without my glasses on doesn't mean I'm blind.
Said
All
you
right.
can't see
So
shit.
for this game, we're gonna have to talk about some trivia, some interesting trivia.
Oh, trivia.
What's trivia?
The answer is 2.
Super Mario Odyssey is the first ever Mario series title to receive a B rating
What?
by the CERO in Japan, which is, I guess it's a rating company. All
They should be
other
fired.
titles released prior to this were rated as an A. So this is rated lower than the rest of the Mario.
they
But why?
Are they
What-
stupid?
What are they
Is it
rating?
considered violent? I don't understand.
I think it's considered has a little bit of violence to it.
What?
So
I mean, it totally kind of depicts rape
okay, does it?
and human trafficking.
That's true. Similarly, Super Mario Odyssey is the first Super Mario series to receive an Everyone 10 Plus game rating by ESRB, which is the North America rating group, and all other games were rated with E. So why is this game a 10+?
Because there's also sluts in it.
Hey,
What? Is it the real
Odyssey,
people? Maybe it's the
it's
real
Odyssey.
people. It lost its.
I
lost
think
it.
that's the
It
reason.
gained some realism, so now people are vulnerable. I don't know.
I think it's the part that is like.
Welcome to the PC culture.
I think what happened with it is that you have some real characters in the New York scene, and they're like people being weird. So they're like, okay, we got to rate this a little higher for 10-year-olds or up.
I mean, that's all the.
I guess
insects.
because they
Could be.
because they made it with humans involved, so it
Can you
no
give me
longer
that
is a fantasy
Green monster.
Game, yeah.
game. It's like it involves reality and the slums and war and human trafficking. So it's just all serious
Human
stuff.
trafficking.
You're so weird. Ellie. Human trafficking. He's not trafficking. He's not selling her.
He basically is. He's going around be like advertising. Come check out what I'm gonna do to her.
In my book, he's trying to get her good stuff like soup and stuff.
Soup.
Remember he tried to get her soup? Oh, you probably didn't get that far.
I haven't gotten that far.
Get her soup.
Yeah, he's like buying her.
You look
trying to
like
get
you're starving. Here's some soup.
All right, another piece of trivia is that this is the first 3D Mario game where Luigi does not make an appearance.
Except for the costume, but yeah.
Well, costume, but he doesn't make.
He
an
didn't
appearance.
make an appearance in
Maybe he had to
64.
fight
Yeah, he did.
Where?
He was in the game. I remember he was in the game.
No, he was not.
Yes,
he was in the 3DS version.
He was not a Nintendo
He was
64.
playable in
He
the
was.
3DS version.
He was not a playable character.
He
but
was not even in it.
Yeah, he was.
Where?
Go back and look it up.
No, he wasn't. I don't believe.
Yeah, he was. He was in Super Mario Sunshine.
I remember he was mentioned.
Yeah, baby. He was in there.
Maybe you just
It was
have to
definitely
find
in
him.
Super
was
Mario
not in
Galaxy
64.
because he had to save his butt.
I don't
Yeah, he
believe it.
was.
No,
Yep, he was
where?
there.
In the painting. You go in and then
He
he
goes.
talks to you.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bop. All right, sorry.
I don't believe
So,
you guys.
and then
Okay,
this.
whatever.
Let's talk about ratings now.
Small brain.
Ratings.
So let's talk about our ratings for this game.
I give it a 10 out of 10.
Okay,
That's it.
okay.
Final.
11 out of 10.
Okay.
Fuck it. 12 out of 10.
Oh my
Alright,
god.
50 out of 10.
55.
Okay, let's grow up.
56.
100.
This is why this game was rated
I thought
on 10
that.
plus. All right,
People
so,
fight over it.
Yeah, I don't know. People want to rate it higher than 10. All right, so out of 10, let's go around the room. Let's go counterclockwise.
This is the
Tom,
best Mario game ever made, hands down.
Oh my
10 out of 10. Final. And I know games, okay?
Oh, don't
That's a good
Trumpify
one.
this.
You lie.
I'm sorry. But it is really, like, in my opinion, the best Mario game I've ever played. Even though it's technically my third Mario game.
So that's cool. You got
It's
a 10 out of 10?
But
You know
get-
why I give it such a high rating? There's two reasons. One is the game mechanics is back to the cool 64 style, which I really love.
Okay, continue.
And the other reason is because it's just so fucking creative. I love it.
But the problem I see with you is you haven't even gone through
Because
the
I'm
first-
doing it on purpose. I don't want to go that fast.
When was the last time you played?
2 days ago.
Yeah.
2 days ago.
I'm playing it slowly because I want to enjoy it, and I'm gonna play it a lot during Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah. Tommy likes to savor his games when his family's around, so he doesn't like to talk to them. So
That's actually
Odyssey.
spot on.
Odyssey.
Ellie, what was your rating?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
No, actually, I'll take that back. 9.8.
9.8? Well, that's what's
Why
the
is
point 2 off?
0.2 coming off?
Because it's hard to find the stupid moons.
I only have one
So
complaint.
really, you're
actually.
doing 10.
I have one complaint about this game.
What?
Michael Jackson?
My only complaint is and it's not a bad thing. It's just that when you got a bit of like a perfectionist streak, you see like
I
all
don't
the
think
coins,
Will-
you want to get every
I
coin.
can tell
and
that
it
Will's
annoys
trying
you.
to figure this out, and I'll tell you right now, you have to know how to use Cappy.
See, this
But the
bothered
others-
me so much.
The other side. It was the other side.
Yeah, it's
was like,
shorter. It's
God
obviously
damn it.
shorter.
Oh, there is another complaint I had. It's
Yeah.
the fact that you have to play this game with the Joy-Cons disconnected. I mean, you don't have to.
No, you don't have to.
But a lot of the cool abilities you can't
Yeah.
use.
I
unless
was
you do
using
that.
the Pro controller the whole time. And I was fine.
I
Are
played
you like whipping your hands.
Something that
No, you just
they
shake
could
like this.
something they could do a little bit better is that actually you can use buttons for all, like when it ever says shake and stuff. You can use buttons. You
Yeah.
just have to learn. It doesn't tell you.
Yeah. Whenever it says shake, like the spin move, you don't have to do that. You could do it with your
Tapping the button.
tapping buttons.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, the gameplay, the whole stuff about the using Cappy and stuff is really fun. But this game is also 2-player. So
Oh yeah. We forgot to mention that.
you can play. I forgot to mention this. It was written in my notes.
You
and
can
I forgot
play
to read it.
Luigi.
You play. One player plays as Mario. The other player plays as Cappy.
Yeah, they actually announced that at the Odyssey event.
Oh,
that Ellie
that's
and I went
right.
to.
That's right.
They
They even
announced
said
that
it in
it's
the.
two-player.
They even
Yeah.
said it in the thing.
Yeah.
In the original launch when they talked about it, when they introduced it.
There goes Will to learn how to do it. Oh no. So you go just
I was so frustrated.
so
I was trying to enjoy Stranger Things and have to figure this out at the same time.
So what happens is you can play 2 players. One player controls Mario, and the second player plays with Cappy with your separate Joy-Cons. You could play this with your Pro Controller, which is really fun. With a Pro Controller, it feels really good. Well, it's a little sensitive, but it's good.
The Joy-Cons, joysticks, just don't have the control that the Pro Controller does. They're not as tall.
Yeah.
So because of that, you don't have as much control. So you feel a little bit disabled when you go from the Pro Controller to the regular Joy-Cons.
Right, but at the same time, the Joy-Con's a little sensitive. The sensitivity is a little high because sometimes that would fall off the map when I didn't mean to.
You weren't drinking when you were playing?
No, I was not.
Well, like games like Breath of the Wild, like as far as moving the camera around, if you're using a Joy-Con, you can't do it as much. I found myself using ZR more just to get the camera where I want it to. Snap.
You know, I would get the Pro Controller to play this, but I don't want to for the sheer reason of
cost.
When I play this, like if I go out to play it, let's say I'm going to take it to someo's house, I don't want to have to haul around the Pro Controller
you're right.
too. So I'd rather just teach
That's
myself out of habit, just play it with what it has.
Yeah. So that's cool that it has the Pro Controller.
It's cool that you can do it, but
it recognizes which controller you have, and it will tell you to do certain moves with the controller you're using. If you're using Joy-Con separate, it tells you what to do. If you have
I'm so pissed.
Pro Controller, it tells you what to do. I can't believe you don't see that ledge that's right there. Look at that pointed out ledge right there.
Oh, right there.
Obviously, it means jump that way.
I didn't look like I could make it. I don't know why.
He's dead.
Like you fell.
Maybe it's underneath.
So, Ellie, what do you rate it?
Did I say 9.8?
Oh, 9.8. Okay.
9.8.
It's Will.
It's okay.
Don't you even? Okay, it's a 10 out of 10.
Confirming 9.8.
Does Will's even count? Considering he wasn't even paying attention to the game.
No,
what are you talking about?
He was watching.
I was the only one. I was the first one that beat the game, and how can you beat a game by not paying attention?
How would you didn't? Yeah, listen, you didn't beat the game. You know why? Because I found out that the only way you know you beat the game is once you finally fight the mushroom boss. That's after Bowser.
Just made that up.
No, I didn't. It's go look it up.
Don't believe anything Tommy says.
Wow,
it's all bullshit.
I don't believe any of that. That was really bad.
When Tommy has those Chinese eyes that he does, I know he's lying.
I'm sleepy.
I guess a 10 would do.
A 10 will do.
For what it is very, very 10
good. Will do.
It's very polished. I mean, like what
else
what
do
could
you
they,
want
what
it
could
to
they
do?
do better? That's the question. What could they do better?
Nothing.
I can't really say much because when I played this game,
a multiplayer online element, maybe that would be cool.
I don't know.
It would be
sharing your screenshots.
This is a private game, son.
I like that they tried to put the screenshot ability into the gameplay. When you're in this game, it tells you to use your screenshot ability more and more.
No,
I thought that was really cool. But anyway, what I would rate it, I'm gonna give it a 9.9.
No, dude, give it a 10. Shut up.
Okay, 9.5.
No, shut up. Give it a 10, and you know it.
All right. Only reason I was gonna give it, okay, fine, I'll give it a 10. The reason I'm gonna give it a 10 is the game is.
It's a wonderful
It's
game.
another Shigeru Miyamoto like brainchild game that kind of came together and brings back the nostalgia of 64, polishes it off with special, like artwork in each level
and cool creativity, man.
Yeah,
like what else do you want from a game?
I get it. What I'm trying to explain to you is that each level had some kind of different art style, and each art style was very unique. And it doesn't mean that this Switch is a very powerful system. That doesn't show you the power of this system, but it does show you that this system gameplay is all about how the game is built.
You do see some details that you wouldn't be able to see on Wii, like when Mario gets wet, he gets that shiny kind of look to him. You actually see that he's wet and he dries off.
What I mean is that it doesn't show you the difference. Like if you played this, if they took this and they put this on like a PlayStation 4 with a different engine or something like that, it could look a lot better. But what I'm trying to say is it doesn't matter that it doesn't look amazing. What it does matter is the story is
That's
really
for the
good.
next game. Mario HD.
We love the storyline. It shows you that single player games are not dead, and that you still have the ability to play single player games and have a great time. And you can sit there, and I played this game for 4 hours once, just straight, because I was so obsessed about getting the coins to get the stupid collectible crap for my Odyssey.
Would you really say it has a good story?
I think the story's
That's
fun.
what I really like. I like the Odyssey. At first, I was like, "What the hell's the title about?" And then when they said it was the ship,
The story isn't like great.
oh.
I think the storyline is pretty simple, meaning it's the same stuff that Mario's had
I
a
would
problem
say,
with.
I guess it's kind of complicated for a Mario game. It's got more to it, like with Pauline and things like that. But
I'm just saying it's not the storyline's not very different than the original Mario games, but the difference is
I love his ship.
Is that there's a new character out there that's your buddy that you never had before, and you basically have a little bit more of an interesting traveling game, and it's really fun to play.
Something I would say is what they did do with the story. Every new world you visit, you have to make it better in some way. You leave it better than you saw it before.
Right, you fix it.
Yeah, so that is good, and that's not something you did with Mario 64. You kind of messed a lot of stuff up instead in that game.
Yeah, you fucked shit up and you moved on.
Yeah.
That's because you were at Bowser's life.
So I mean, it's
world.
kind of cool that they did that with this time, and I guess you can consider it that story, pretty much.
Yeah,
I just really like the creativity. That's the most shocking thing to me. Is just how they even came up with some of these worlds and concepts and stuff is just like, wow.
I like the game. So 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 9.8.
All right then.
So
Which
we're
rounds
at
up to a 10.
Which rounds up pretty much to a 10. So the game is amazing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hand off the podcast to William.
Oh really?
Oh man.
Okay.
Because William is gonna go over
Does
Assassin's
it have
Creed
to be William?
Origins.
It's gonna be Ellie.
So, what is Assassin's Creed Origins? No. Assassin's Creed Origin is the fourth major Assassin's Creed game released in a row since Assassin's Creed Unity or Rogue, because they came out in the same exact year.
Ooh.
To not be numbered, and is the 10th traditional game release. Calling traditional, non-traditional would be like the side-scroller games or the Vita game, because the Vita obviously can't compare to a full console release, which they later kind of did, but it was like a subset kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it does. Unlike the last release, Syndicate, the game does not feature territory or unit building.
Oh wow.
So remember in Assassin's Creed 2, I don't know if it was Revelations or what it was called, but you were able to build like your little army. In Black Flag, you could build up your ship. In this one, you don't really have something that build up besides your own character.
You kind of go back to the roots.
You can't really build up units, but you do build up like your armor and your gear levels a lot.
Basically, it reminds me of Assassin's Creed with Ezio.
Kinda. But it does feature the largest map to date. So it's got the largest amount of area to explore. Like a huge map.
Yeah, the map is massive.
In fact, they have like a whole like auto travel system where you set a waypoint on the map and you say, okay, I want to travel there, and then you hit A and the horse will just go on its own.
Yeah, or the camel.
Yeah,
kind of like
I like how he's like sneaking through water.
That, but yeah, go ahead.
Look at his hands. He's like, oh.
So on that huge map, there's tons of individual locations to explore, and this is the first game to be released with more than a year gap than the last major Assassin's Creed title. So when you're looking at like a Syndicate and Unity, they're released within 1 year of each other, and this is the first game they said, hey, we need an extra year to make this game better.
Well, it looks good. So far, when I've been playing it, I really
it's
like
definitely a bigger leap in progression compared to like any other Assassin's Creed. Like there's the biggest leap in progression compared to a previous game than Assassin's Creed 1 and Assassin's Creed 2, and that was more than a year gap too.
Yeah.
So
what about Black Flag?
Hopefully this is the trend. Black Flag, even the same thing. It was a small jump. It had the ship elements, but Assassin's Creed 3 had the ship elements. They just expanded upon it.
That's true.
So no big leaps. I mean, there's not necessarily a huge leap here, but as far as like the gameplay has been completely reworked, which we're going to talk about that. Assassin's Creed Origin feels more like Watch Dogs 2 turned into Assassin's Creed.
It does.
It features a
from the trailer
completely reworked combat system and does away with the traditional eagle vision.
Which I hate and love at the same time.
Ellie actually likes this because instead of kind of changing the color of everything to find things, you actually have this eagle fly over like you would your drone in Watch Dogs 2, and you can even have your eagle harass people like you would have your drone harass people, like drop little things that blow up in their faces and things.
You know what the eagle's good for?
Poop.
Because you don't,
I
you know what
wish.
the Eagles are good for? Because you don't have a mini map. So like, if you're like, how do I get around?
Well, that's
this
something
mountain?
too. They took away the mini map.
Yeah.
Actually, one of TJ Fixman, who's done writing for some really cool video games on Twitter, said something I thought was really funny. He said, the first 2 hours of Assassin's Creed Origins, you feel completely lost because it's totally reworked, and then by the third hour, he said they did the tutorial so well that he used the meme of Neo from The Matrix is going, I know Kung Fu.
Oh.
So first
dumb.
2 hours so lost, third hour I know Kung Fu. Which is it's kind of true because you feel so lost at
in that
first.
beginning where you're in the tomb. Dude, it took me forever to get out. I was like, where the hell is
It's because it's Tommy.
I was so pissed off. I was like, where is this exit, yo?
Yeah.
And I'm playing on easy mode.
So Origins primarily features the character Bayek as the main protagonist, who seeks revenge from the risen leadership of Egypt for murdering his son. Without spoiling anything, we talked about how it's a big open world, but you can expect some pleasant surprises and changes in the gameplay that you wouldn't expect. So be ready for that, and don't expect it to be the whole same experience throughout the whole thing. Yeah,
Right.
Don't expect it to be the whole enchilada
I like
from what you're seeing in the
enchiladas, though.
standard gameplay.
Yeah.
So let's jump into development of the game real quick. Development started in
Real
early
quick?
2014.
Ooh.
2014.
You said real quick.
Real quick.
Okay. Development of the game started in 2014 after the completion of Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. That's a long time ago.
That
But
was
they
a
have a
long
lot
time
of
ago.
teams working on individual games, I guess. Because since then, if you count...
They must have split. There must be multiple teams working on these
Since
games.
then, you had Rogue, you had Unity, and you had Syndicate that came out.
Yeah, it's a fuckload of games.
Yeah, they do have different developers.
They have to.
Using similar engines working together.
And this is one of the good ones.
After the launch of Assassin's Creed Syndicate in 2015, Ubisoft chose to delay the release of Origins until 2017.
Wow.
Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot cited a desire to focus on the quality of individual titles. The opportunity to develop future games with new engines.
I just saw you like freaking bend the bow arrow in
Yeah.
the middle there.
You're
Oh.
able to do that.
Well, it's
an ability.
It's called the Predator Bow.
Yeah, you're able to guide the arrow.
You can guide
I
the
was
arrow.
reading all the cool abilities. I was like, God damn, how am I supposed to do?
Some bullshit.
There's so many things you can do.
Sorry.
Let's finish up production here. During production of Assassin's Creed 3 in November 2011, Ubisoft conducted a fan survey exploring potential settings for future titles. Ancient Egypt was one of the most popular choices.
I never even thought of that.
But Alex
But it's so cool.
Hutchinson, the creative director of Assassin's Creed 3, dismissed the results as he considered Ancient Egypt, as with the other two chosen settings, Feudal Japan and World War II, as being the worst choices for the setting, which is really dumb in my opinion. World War II would be awesome.
that means he needs to get fired.
I don't see why World War II wouldn't be the one
and
of the
Feudal
top
Japan
choices.
would be even more cool,
You know what I mean?
especially with this reworked system.
Feudal Japan would be awesome.
Because you imagine this system, you no longer just
Be a
stabbing
ninja,
people.
dude. I mean,
This-
come on. That's what an assassin is.
This
It's like
the
made
rework
for
system has done away completely.
Fell in water.
Yeah.
The rework system has done away completely with the beat 'em up, just tap a button and then counter
Oh, shit.
system, and instead you have swing, heavy attack. It's kind of
Yeah, it's a little different.
I hate. It's not like For Honor. And I
It
don't know why I
is.
keep
It
saying It's
is.
not like For
Yeah,
Honor.
it is.
Because you don't have you're not changing your stance.
It was well, other than a stance change, but it was pretty much the same.
but you do bring
dynamic.
up your shield.
You bring up the shield. You have the.
It's like
you
a
have
really
the light
dumbed down
attack.
For Honor, I guess. I can't
Yeah, you have
think
the
of
light
a better
attack.
example
Then you
right
have the
now.
bigger attack.
I can't think of a better example, but it's definitely no longer like a terrible
Original.
version of Batman Arkham Asylum. which
Basically,
was
they
before.
started
Tap X, press Y to
They
counter.
basically started like listening to people going, "This is not."
Why wouldn't they want to do like a Civil War one, or why wouldn't they want to do a World War one?
Civil War would be awesome.
I'll tell you right now, they probably will. Now that because if they originally thought this was not going to be a good idea, but now people actually like this, they might be like, "Yeah, you know what? Maybe we were wrong."
So you guys probably heard some drama about this game. Have you heard any drama
No.
about the game?
I haven't.
I heard
About the microtransactions?
Yes, I heard about that.
Oh, I saw that.
Yes.
I didn't hear
This is
anything,
not
but
the
I
only
saw
game
that
that
you
has
could.
microtransaction problems, but
So
they're-
what are the microtransactions that everybody speaks of? This is the first Assassin's Creed to feature what is basically a pay-to-win microtransaction
Yeah, I saw. I
system.
didn't like that.
You can pay real money for legendary gear or skip the grind entirely. and just pay to level up your character.
I did not like that. I saw that. I
Straight
was
up
like,
pay
this
for
is
experience,
gross.
or you can straight up pay for the collectibles that you need to upgrade your own gear.
Yeah, I saw that. It looks cool,
So
but it was
what's
gross.
the point of playing the game?
Yeah, it just kills the whole point.
Because I don't want to spend real money. So while this is not needed to progress through the game, you don't need to do that to actually progress through the game. It does require you to do the majority of side missions and side activities and kill and collect things to spend a significant amount of time doing that. You can't just
like
side
Far
pass
Cry.
all that stuff.
Like Far Cry.
To be able to continue through the main missions. So you can't go through the main missions because you won't be high enough level and your gear won't be good enough.
Kind of like Far
So
Cry, right?
They do that. I think they doing it just a little bit more than they would usually because they want you to actually spend that money. I'm just a little bit frustrated. I'm going to be that much more tempted to spend that money. So if they put these systems in places, they put the system in place, they're going to make it a little bit more annoying for you. And that's what I don't like because they want you to spend that money.
Wasn't it?
I
Isn't
agree.
it kind of like Far Cry with the Far Cry system where you didn't have to pay for it, but what I meant is like when you're trying to collect stuff to get better so you can actually beat the game because you can't beat the game if you don't have these guns or upgrades to your pouches and upgrades to that. I can see how that can be a problem.
It's kind of like Will plays the whole game all the way through, gets all the stuff, takes him 2 months, and then he's like, "Hey Tommy, how's your progression?" I'm like, "Oh, look at all this cool legendary stuff I bought," and I only played for like 2 days.
Who's the other one that's having a controversy with microtransactions right now?
Well, we already talked about that game, right?
Did we talk about
Did you just set
Battlefield?
yourself on fire?
You're talking about Call of Duty, right?
I'm talking about Call of Duty, and I'm talking about EA's game that's coming out soon.
Oh, yeah, Battlefront.
Battlefront 2 with the heroes.
Well, that's a little bit different. We'll probably talk about that game when it comes out. But with Battlefront, what happened was they said, you're no longer going to be paying for DLC. But they have to pay for that DLC somehow. So they're putting microtransactions in.
Yeah.
So that's why they were able to say that. I don't know if it's going to work out. Actually, what's interesting about Call of Duty, I know we're off topic here, but Call of Duty is copying Destiny a little bit. They have a social kind of like tower area.
Clans?
No, they don't have
The
clans.
only thing I would
They have
want to
a-
pay for is skins.
They have
Like
a social
different
tower.
outfits and stuff.
They have a social tower area, and you get loot boxes. The loot boxes drop in front of everybody, and everybody can collect from the loot boxes.
Mhm.
So everybody can say, "Okay, you spend money, I'll spend money. We'll get tons of crap."
Yeah.
Because you can share them with everybody in the social area.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So I don't know, interesting. Well, so the DLC in this game, it's not needed. It's definitely feeling like they made it a little bit more annoying, just so you can spend that money though. So when does Assassin's Creed Origin takes place? That was like one of my main questions. The setting for the game is in 59 BCE, around the time of Cleopatra, who rose to power in 41 to 12 BCE. She I think she died in 12 BCE.
She died sometime.
Snakes.
While
She's actually still alive.
yeah, no, she's not.
He said, yeah.
While this
What?
may be
got some
initially
good lotion.
disappointing, I mean, I was disappointed because I wanted to take place during the golden age of pharaohs. I wanted to take place when they're building the pyramids of Giza.
Dude, it
I wanted
could
to take
be-
place.
Wouldn't that be
during-
before or afterwards?
Huh?
That's afterward. No, this is before this, right?
Yeah, this is before this.
They might make a prequel. You never know.
Well, what's interesting is
If people like a story enough.
I told you guys I was watching lots of Egyptian documentaries. It sets the tone for me when I'm playing this game. And shut up.
were you
What's
watching
It sets the
were you
tone.
watching the show?
It does set the tone.
Let me ask you a question. Were you
when
watching
I'm-
the show Dirty Jobs when you were playing Mario or something?
No.
Watching plumbers and stuff? Just to set the
Okay.
tone?
I was watching the Super Mario Super Show. No, just kidding. I was
course
watching
you were.
Stranger Things.
Okay.
So
Another show with creativity.
the golden age of the pharaohs, when they built the pyramids of Giza, were actually 2,000 years ahead of Cleopatra. 2,000 years. So we're 1,000
Cleopatra's
years.
time was when Egypt was becoming Greek.
Yeah, the Roman
you
the
never
Roman
know.
Empire.
They might do. They might.
She's
do,
European.
But
Yeah.
they might do like they did with Assassin's Creed 3. Remember how all of a sudden 4 came out and you're playing his dad? You're like, wait, what? It went backwards. So they
Well,
might
it's
do like
1,000 that's 1,000 years.
Hey man, they could do like somebody's great grandfather. You know?
Okay, so this takes place in 49 BCE. 1,000 years back, you get Ramses.
Dude, we're gonna play
Those-
the
like
caveman
everybody knows the Great Pharaoh, right? Ramses the
No.
second.
What did he
Ramsey.
do?
stuff. with the
He's the one that
Moses.
he's
like-
the one that Moses got.
He
gave away.
had like 20 kids, and he had like the most statues about him. He's the most well-known pharaoh besides Tutankhamun.
Only because he had so much history
before
that was
him.
left
Tutankhamun
behind.
was right before him.
But like you said, like to me, William, you said that the hard thing about writing story for that time era you're wishing this is that there's no written records of what happened during.
Yeah, this is the most.
Don't need it.
This is the most well-documented history of Egypt because the Roman Empire came in and they took a lot of recording, like they recorded everything and have a lot of history for this time period.
You can make something up for the old period, but
another reason why
they made up a nuclear war in this series. Like, come on, you can make it up.
Another reason why they think they chose this time period is variety in the buildings and the units. I think. Just my opinion, because you have some Roman units, you have a lot of Roman themed buildings, but it feels like I'm playing like the Roman Empire.
What if they did like
a
a Sparta version?
That'd be cool.
Or maybe they just didn't really want
ancient
it.
Greece.
This is like
with the different gods and stuff.
Stop. This is Assassin's Creed Origin. It's not Assassin's Creed Egyptian or
Well, he's not the first assassin that was established.
But this is just like
okay.
Go ahead.
So this took place in 49 BCE. The first Assassin's Creed game where we get to see Altair, and Al-Mualim. That takes place,
and the only official game that you could kill all the civilians.
That takes in place in 1191.
Yep, that's around the
1191
Crusade period.
The Third Crusade.
Yeah.
So that's a long time.
Is that before?
That's another 1,000 year difference.
That's
another 1,000 year difference.
Don't give Tommy a history lesson.
Is that way before this?
So basically, almost 1,000 years difference from this game.
Yo, you're like in a different place. This place, there's no like Jesus, bro. Jesus is not even born yet.
Hey, I said BCE, not and I didn't say BC.
I know you didn't say BC AD. I know.
No, I'm asking.
He's saying before Common Era and all this other stuff. I get you saying. I'm just saying.
So this is before Altair.
This is way before him.
Yeah, this 1,000 years before Altair.
So that means there's
1,100.
How old is this goddamn organization?
There's the same difference between Altair and us.
All right, let me ask you a question.
Altair and him.
No, okay, let me ask you a question. That's true. Let me ask you a question. Do we find out who was the original creators of the Assassins?
I'm not going to spoil anything.
It was Batman.
Well, he's just asking one question. Will we have answers?
Yeah, will we have answers about it?
I'm not going to spoil anything, but you
It's called Origins, so I mean, it's
I talked about how you have some surprises in the gameplay, right? So the more you go through the main story missions, the more characters you'll meet, and the more.
I just want to know, like,
the more you'll
can
see,
they go further back?
Like one of the first things I noticed is one of the first characters.
Caveman.
One of the characters that you meet with. One of the characters you meet with wears white and red. Your character doesn't do that, but she wears white and red. So look out for that. That's like your first indication of where the story is going.
All right, cool.
Blood.
No, he had white and red.
Is Batman going to be in this?
Yeah, that's
I'm
a
trying
good
to be.
question.
I'm trying to be like Tom
An
right
Assassin's Creed Batman, that would be amazing.
So one thing that's really interesting is, if you look at this, is really interesting. Will is right now. If you're watching the YouTube video, Will's actually around the pyramids, and the pyramids look messed up. And the reason why is because the pyramids were built 1,000 years before.
2,000 years.
Yeah, it's all 2,000 years before, and that's why they look like crap.
Well, they look a lot better than they do now.
Yeah, well,
you still have the,
and they found something interesting.
You see that how it looks flat.
Yeah,
that whole flat surface. Only the very top of it remains now.
Yeah.
So
didn't you say
they found a special room recently? They did like a radar of it, and they found there's a void in there that they haven't found out before. It's recent.
Yeah, it's illegal for them to actually mine in there, so they have to do that.
In the top?
Or dig around.
It's in the middle somewhere.
It's a void?
It's a void.
What do you mean? That means they can probably get in there.
Like it's empty?
There's an empty space that they
There's probably another tomb or something in there.
Oh, there's something in there that we don't know about.
Yeah, by the way, if you ever watched I forget him as Dr. Hawas's show on National Geographic, he's the one that used to be like the leading Egyptologist in Egypt. He took a pee in one of these, or some girl took a pee in one of these.
A pee?
He was really pissed off. Yeah, he was really pissed off. He's like, you cannot pee in the pyramid. And then she was peeing. Because it takes like 5 or 6 hours to get inside.
So, Tommy, you played...
It takes 6 hours to get inside a pyramid?
So she was
How
in
big
there
is this
and
thing?
then she peed in there?
So, Tommy, you're the only one other than me that played this game. What did you think about the changes to combat? Were they a benefit to the game?
I like them more. to me. It felt more realistic that you would have an easier attack, yet also like a really hardcore attack. I like the fact that you could incorporate the shield a little bit more. What, Ellie? What's wrong with your face?
You like if he was in love with you, like
because he is. Be jealous. The combat was way better. It didn't feel so choppy. I remember when I would play
it definitely
Assassin's Creed 2. I felt like I was kind of like
because you have more control over the character, it does not feel as choppy, which is nice.
Yeah,
I agree.
When I was playing Assassin's Creed 2, I remember like you'd just be like a one part, then you like jump to another part, and you're just kind of like screen. This feel very like smooth, fluid.
If we're going to talk about the story, the very
no. I'm talking combat.
Okay. Yeah, no, I agree that you kind of
like when you had a whole group, right? You'd be hopping here and then you hop there. You're like, what the hell's happening?
I like that.
That was horrible. It didn't make any sense. You're like,
that's
wait.
something I worry about that Ellie won't like about it if she actually gets hands on with it.
This one was
did
way
it not
more
bother
fluid.
you. The beginning of the game, did that not bother you how jumpy it was? You went from one scene to another scene, no explanation. It was like, what the hell's happening?
Yeah, that was a kind of. I was like, what the fuck is?
I felt like Syndicate all over.
I was playing it and my sister was watching me, and we're both sitting there going like, because I decided to play it. I told her to come over, let's see it, because she likes watching the Assassin's Creed games, and so we're just kind of watching it, and we're like, what the hell's happening? I couldn't understand it. She couldn't understand it. I'm like, this is crazy. And then we're just kind of like you spawn into. It's now time for you to play, and we're like, okay. What do you do now? So you do a little bit of stuff, and then all of a sudden it just jumps to like a sudden random scene. You're like, what?
Yeah. I mean, they do that on purpose.
I know.
To explain later, but the story's
it was so
far spaced out from each other.
You had to figure out what's going on. Like
each segment is so far spaced out that unless you're playing the game like straight up or you use that XP boost to just go story,
like in most
you're gonna be a little confused.
Like in most stories, they'll start out with like it'll give you like an introduction, whatever. This one straight up just starts with like you falling in the middle of combat, he's bleeding, and all. You're like, what?
Yeah, like what the hell's happening?
What's happening? And then they're like, all right, walk.
Yeah,
wait, but who is this guy? Like, who am I playing?
I was not afraid of the opening. Like I like the openings like Assassin's Creed 2. I thought that was a genius opening. Like you're born and then you have to move the joysticks to make the baby move. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm. And what?
In Assassin's Creed 2. It starts out with Ezio being born.
No.
And then you have to, it does. And you have to move the joysticks.
Have been a long time.
You have to move the joysticks and then the baby like actually moves.
I don't remember that. It's been so long.
And then it goes to him being a kid and how he gets the scar. He has a rival with another family.
Yeah.
That I remember. I remember that. I don't remember the baby.
I like how they ease you into it that way. I don't like.
Yeah, you discover who the character is. This one, I'm like, so what's his name? My sister's like, what is this guy? Yeah, I'm like, I don't know who it is. I think he's an assassin. He could be, could not be.
So, what do you rate the game so far? I know you haven't. It's not really fair because you haven't like gotten towards the ending or anything. But
no,
like,
but just from playing it, just playing wise and kind of like just how cool everything is. To me, this is a solid 8 out of 10.
Does this game have issues like the Unity and Syndicate?
Unity was great.
Yep.
Okay.
What issues?
So, I'm gonna be sharing this on.
All I remember.
Don't show it. Just tell us. Just quickly.
No. What I have to say is, if you remember, I remember playing Unity, and the guy's face disappeared, and all it was is eyeballs and a mouth.
That never happened to me. And I played a lot of it.
Because you're rich.
That's actually never happened to me.
It's because I'm rich. Maybe it's because I started playing once the game was out for a while.
I'm gonna be sharing this on social media, but I can show it here, no problem. So I was just exploring in the water, and some guy was just standing there, like on the water, like, "What is this, Jesus?" He's not even born yet.
You found Jesus, yo.
Yeah, so he's just sitting
Look
there
at
in the water.
He's just, hey, man.
And I fired my arrow at him, still standing there, like nothing was gonna happen with him. He was just sitting there. So what the hell is
That's
this?
hilarious.
And it wouldn't move. And another time I called my horse. I was like, "Where's the horse?" And then I look over here and he's sitting in the back of this cart. And it's just like hovering there. I was like, what am I supposed to do? I can't mount him, so I try to mount, and I mount the thing, and I move, and then he dies.
Oh my god! What the hell, dude? You should totally tag fucking Ubisoft in this.
I ran into a guy, and he was in the middle of a wall, and it was a little annoying. I couldn't hear him.
He's in the wall.
It's like I have to kill him for the objective, so I killed him, and then his butt hangs out of the wall, those legs flopping around. I just thought it was a little funny. This other time, chasing this guy, just falls off the horse randomly. I thought that was kind of funny.
Stay with me.
And then, like, the ragdoll physics for... You have chariot races in this. Ragdoll physics for the people falling out of it. Like, he looks like a stick. He looks like he's died and he's already turned into a stick. Mm-hmm. So, it looks a little weird. And lastly, not the most funny glitch, but I fell into a mountain and I can't get past it. Like I'm stuck.
You're under the mesh, dude.
I know, I can't get past it.
He literally went under the mesh.
I got off the horse and I just ended up there.
Dude,
This game does have a lot of glitches. No really funny ones like we got with Unity. Unity had some hilarious glitches, like the whole eyeball thing in the mouth. And that
dude,
one
you
scene
saw
where
Jesus, man.
In the cut scene, you have characters in the back like talking French. That was the most hilarious thing.
Yeah, because you're like talking. It's like this is not the.
Well, you don't
time.
understand, dude.
But I definitely had some funny glitches.
You just completely disproved an entire religion because you found the original Jesus.
I did find the original Jesus.
He's standing in the water. You killed him actually.
I found the original.
You
Egyptian Jesus.
You shot Jesus in the face.
He never died, so he never killed him.
That's because he's Jesus, man. He never died and it stood on water.
All I have to say is, remember the one in Unity when there's like talking like, yeah, we don't even know. And there's like, je crois. What is going on?
I know that was a regular cutscene with people in the back
like
talking
important
French.
shit. The dude just walks in.
Yeah.
It's like what?
Yeah, it's freaking hilarious. So, Ellie, what do you think about the changes? I know you haven't had hands on with the game, but you love Assassin's Creed. You spent a lot of time in Unity.
I played the whole
with the changes in combat.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think
I would play it over and over and over and over and over and over?
No, this game. With
yes,
you would.
I would.
Okay.
The end.
All right then.
Is there a cooking element?
Is there a cooking element?
Doesn't matter.
No, there is not a cooking element.
Because you're collecting animal parts. So
you're collecting animal parts for
gear.
Upgrading your gear.
Okay, that's it. So you're not cooking anything. All right,
no
cool.
cooking.
But one thing is really good though. I didn't say well is the bow. Have you noticed that shooting an arrow is really good in this one?
Yeah.
Compared to the previous ones?
No.
Yeah, because it's more like a
it's so smooth.
shooter. It's more like a regular shooter.
Yeah, it's so smooth. I was like,
automatically.
I really enjoyed it. Like
You're
before, I was
weird.
like, fuck I'd just slice them. But I was like, well, this boat's kind of fun with this.
Well, you remember before it auto target. So like if you shoot your gun, you have to let it aim, and it has that weird aiming system.
Yeah, this
and
one
then
you have
fire.
to do it yourself.
This one is a lot better as far as it's like more like you would have in any other third person shooter.
No,
Yeah.
like
Which this is not a third person shooter, but
But at least it gives you that element,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Nah.
so I guess if I would agree with
There is one thing I don't
Tommy,
like.
I guess.
There is one thing I don't like, which I gave it an 8, which is when you do that whole like division thing, so you can see where the loot's at. You can barely see it. I'm like, what the hell? Like you remember in the beginning scene where you're in the treasure rooms, right? And you're trying to look at all the things that you could loot. So you do that little vision thing. I had to do it like 10 times in the same room just to be like, wait, where was it again? I hated that.
yeah. I mean,
Maybe it's 'cause you just
if you
missed.
hold up on the D-pad, did you see how that marks things for you?
And it stays there?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He's
Okay.
not very smart.
That's not true.
Wow.
It's a kind of game where
'cause my nipples
it doesn't
don't
hold
touch.
your hand as much as it really should.
You probably didn't get
In the
that
ve-
far in this game.
In the
It was in the beginning.
in the beginning, it doesn't hold your hand as much as it should.
It doesn't tell
So,
you could do that.
I would agree with Tommy and give it a 8. For $60, if you're spending $60 on this game, you're getting a lot for your money.
You also get to enjoy the cool
You don't
stories
get-
of Egypt, which
you get a
is
lot of
always fun.
You
to
get a
see.
lot of gameplay for your dollar. So if that I saw somewhere on a Reddit post, somebody said, "I rate games by how many hours of gameplay I get for my dollar."
Let me ask you a question, Will. Would you rather live in that time period or this time period?
This time period, man.
He wants to live in the future.
Because he doesn't get
Maybe
cyberpunk.
maybe the 1950s, but would be better than now.
1950s?
Yeah,
Why?
because
Give me a
dude,
good
it'd be
reason.
so easy to make money back then.
1950s.
Did it not easy to be to make money then?
Yeah, but
Just
dude,
become a pharaoh.
you come
Done
down
deal.
you come down with a cold or some shit, you're fucked.
You come down with cold now.
Your ass
you
is
get
gonna-
AIDS now, you fuck.
Your ass is gonna get murdered and like for power every opportunity.
No, because I'd murder everybody first.
bull.
How do
No,
you
I
make?
wouldn't.
I just want to
Everyone
know.
would die.
How do you make money in the 1950s?
So I would kill everybody. He uses wipe out continents just for fun. He puts statues of his face. Yeah.
You know Nero? Nero?
You
I make
join
that guy
the
look
war?
like a pansy. I'm telling you right now.
Well, life was like so much more simple in the 1950s, and
Dude, life was simple in Egypt. Just wake up,
Everything has
eat
not
some
gone to shit yet.
go to sleep.
Like LA is amazing in the 1950s. I want to see LA in the 1950s.
Wasn't it a
He's right, in the
reconstruction after
1950s.
war?
Because it wasn't a
late
freeway, that's
50s?
why.
Because in the 1950s, everything was like, we just won the war, and everything's great.
Everyone's
and
going back to their
and, you know,
jobs.
and then the
wealthy.
economy's popping.
Ellie
You got all the
wasn't born
baby
yet.
boomers just born.
All right, so with that, we should move into
Oh, thanks.
All the cool stuff in the world, which is our listener confessions.
listener confession.
Who?
All right, at Manuel _Hernandez _animations on Instagram was so excited. We spoke about his Halloween costume last week that he wanted to share some more of his art, and this is the time we want to share his South Park character. He did a chef character, which is actually pretty cool looking, even though Chef is dead, I think, in the cartoon. He also did a, oh my God, I don't want to burp, but he did a Mr. Garrison with Mr. Hat on his hand.
That is
That's
so
very
good.
good.
Looks like a bit art.
I actually thought it was from South Park.
He also did a
That is
Mr.
really good.
Mackey.
This kid is talented.
If he's doing this on MS Paint,
It looks like a paint program.
he's doing a good job.
That is really good for MS Paint.
It's
better than Ellie does.
My favorite is this guy. What's his name?
Mr. Mackey.
Mr. Mackey.
Yeah.
He looks really cool with the hair. Good job on the hair.
Yeah, he did all individual strokes over there, huh?
Yeah.
That's good.
That's how. Yeah.
Good job. Keep up the good work. You
Hey,
have a future.
Hey, if you can do our Nerd Confessions logo, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, do that next.
All right.
That'd be cool, actually.
If you'd like to send us your confessions, you can email us at contact@nerdconfessions.net or send us a tweet with @nerdconfessions with zeros replacing the O's.
Placing the hose.
Hey, Manuel Hernandez, keep up the good work. That artwork looks awesome. All right. Well, that wraps up this week's confession. Join us next week for more discussions, opinions, and things that pique our interest. If you have any confessions and you would like to discuss, feel free to send it our way. As always, we want to thank all our listeners and followers for tuning in and supporting us. Share us, like us, review us. Click that bell button on the YouTube video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Whatever you want to do, every bit helps us grow. And don't forget, you can find our previous episodes and bonus content on our website, nerdconfessions.net.
.net.
And question for you guys on the YouTube page. What's your favorite character to capture or animal or thing to
Super
capture
Mario
on
Odyssey.
Super Mario Odyssey? This is Nerd Confessions signing off. Leave that in the comments, boys.
So no, look.
And girls.
Next week we got Justice League coming out on Thursday, and we also on Thursday have The Punisher on Netflix.
Oh, yes. I've been waiting for that shit.
So that means Tommy will not be leaving his house.
No, I will not be.
So
I'm going to be binge
what are we
watching
gonna,
the
what are we
shit
gonna
out
be
of
doing? Punisher
Yes.
How about
and Justice League.
How about both?
We'll just do both.
All right. So next week, Justice League and The Punisher.
Oh, how
We're gonna be live Monday night. Podcast out on Tuesday.
Okay,
There's going to be a
bye-bye.
lot of vengeance.
Go away.
We love you.
Vengeance. I need to assemble a team.
Called The Revengers.
Can't
I'm
wait
gonna
to
call
see
them
that Aquaman.
The Justice Avengers. What? No, it's not good. Damn. That's why they don't pay me the big bucks.
I want to know what happened to Aquaman. Why is he living in a cave underwater? Don't touch my needle.